What do we have for Scorpio, please? Strength. Leo energy in reverse at the foundation of the reading, Scorpio. There are individuals inside your energy that have had countless warnings to leave you alone. Now you're being given a front row seat to see who these people really are, who they always were. Some of these individuals you made up excuses for. Some of these individuals you put on a pedestal. Family members, friends, exes. See, that's what Scorpios do. You have a tendency to want to see the absolute best in people. But sadly, most, if not all of these people don't deserve it, Scorpio. The divine is really bringing some hard truths into your life right now. The entire Scorpio collective is now being encouraged to put yourself on a pedestal. Start seeing the best in yourself, because it's always been about you, Scorpio. It's never been about anybody else. Part of the Scorpio energy is us all having to overcome and transform and realize that you are the one at the center of your own universe. Scorpios love to make people the center of their universe before you're fully awakened. But it's all a part of your evolution, Scorpio. Your treatment towards others has been completely selfless. You spent a large portion of your life trying to help bring out the best in other individuals and putting yourself behind their own needs. But the interesting part about this is that these individuals allowed you to do this. For a lot of you, it was family members. It's like being born between parents who you have to kind of serve, or who you almost have to parent as you get older. It's as if they expect you to make them the center of your own universe, when it should be vice versa, because they are the elder. They should be helping lift you up, and on and so forth for the children that follow behind you, which speaks about evolution. A lot of you were born into dynamics where the idea of evolution was completely foreign. And for Scorpios, this is a kind of death sentence, because you are the death card. You are transformation personified. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes. And there's a large group of you that have graduated on to this new level inside the Scorpio collective. We're all stepping through the portal now into this new timeline. And it's as if you're looking back over your past and a lot of the people that were a part of your past, and it's like they're in bizarro land now. You're really seeing these people for who they really are. The veil has been ripped down, but it's as if they can't notice this. It's a part of their karma. They're trapped inside their own lies. There's this energy of disgrace that I'm picking up here from this strength in reverse. But this is all based off of these individuals trying to play a kind of God in your life. It's abuse of power. But now the scales have tipped. The timelines have shifted. And I feel that right now a lot of you are going through a review of the past. You could be thinking about people that you haven't thought about in a while. Maybe you're looking up people's social media only to find yourself completely shocked and beside yourself at what you are seeing. A lot of these individuals received a lot of gain by trying to bring you down, though it seemed. But as you hid yourself away and allowed your transformation to unfold and kept to yourself, now here you are coming back out into the world, and you're seeing just how much everything has changed. There seems to be this filter, this illusion that's been ripped off of your reality. You have a better understanding of who you are and what you came here to do, or enough of it to get going on your path. There's this energy where you are feeling more empowered than ever, Scorpio, because you have taken the time to properly awaken and transform, and you haven't been prying into other individuals' lives and creating resistance for others. What do we have, the sacral, please? The moon. Wow. Pisces energy at the sacral. I've been picking up messages inside the Scorpio collective for a while now surrounding individuals who made a certain deal to stop your progress by keeping you engaged in different kinds of karmic cycles as a means to receive some kind of material gain or fame in their own life. This is a perfect example of what it means to sell your soul. We see this on the world stage. We see this with celebrities. Now, there's usually a couple different things that are at play when somebody sells their soul. One, they're usually positioned to push a kind of agenda to appease the system of control that they are now under. And two, they are meant to create roadblocks by any means necessary between you and your rebirth. This is exactly the Scorpio energy. The Scorpio energy is on the front lines and is charging head first into everything that is standing in the collective's way in regards to rebirth. You lead that charge, Scorpios, and I feel that this is something that you are now becoming fully aware of. Selling your soul is exactly like taking out a title loan on your car. You're still in possession of the car, but you've signed over your title to the title loan company. You're usually paying 110% interest to pay back the very small loan that they gave you on your title. If you default on a payment, they come and take your car from you. This is exactly what it's like when somebody sells their soul. The system will run these individuals ragged until they are left empty vessels. Metaphorically speaking, they'll drive these individuals to the top of the highest mountain, jump out of the car, and drive these individuals off a cliff, which represents their life. Karma will show up for these individuals as different kinds of madness and psychological warfare that will last the rest of their life. Individuals start to see these people as a joke. You can start to see the darkness that these individuals carry from within. There's an emptiness to them because their soul has been repossessed. And it's interesting how possessed is used inside a word like repossessed. Because again, that example of the title loan is exactly what happens with these individuals' souls. They'll be paying compounded interest for years and years to come. The floor caving in everywhere they go. And most of these people, just like I said, Scorpio, were taken right to the top. Maybe some of them had a kind of overnight fame, but then they were dropped from the very top and have been on a descent downward, which can be described as a fall from grace, which is what this strength in reverse at the foundation is indicating. The Scorpio collective is starting to see now how most of your life you have been on a path where you've been deceiving yourself. You've been looking to outside support or validation as a means to find your way. The Scorpio collective is being guided to start going inward for all of your guidance, because I feel that there's an overwhelming force around you that is hell-bent to get you off your path. And it goes back to what I said surrounding individuals that allowed you to place them on a pedestal at the center of your universe and essentially supported you putting them before your own well-being. Scorpios will do this without even thinking about it because you think it's the right thing to do. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you fell for this, Scorpios. It's just all a part of your path. It's part of the awakening process for you. You have to go through the darkness before you can access the light. And this is exactly what this moon card is representing. What do we have at the solar plexus? And there it is. Death. Scorpio, that is your energy right there at the solar plexus. I guess we just spoke this card into existence. This represents the transformation. This is showing us very clearly that everything we're channeling through right now is right on target, Scorpios. You're at this level of awakening where you're having this review and you're starting to see a truth like you've never seen before. And when you start to see this truth, it forces you to focus on what it is inside of you that wanted you to accept a lie. Now, that's quite a deep statement, but the simplest way I can put this to you, Scorpio, is going through a kind of trauma as a child. Okay, maybe you witnessed somebody in your childhood become the victim of some kind of abuse. It could be one of your parents, it could be a sibling, another family member, but you saw something that was deeply traumatizing to you. But because you were so young, you weren't able to do anything to help this person. As you got older, you took on what is called white knight syndrome. So this is when individuals are brought into your life that hold similar kinds of wounds to the individuals that you were seeing being victimized. You think that you are being tasked with helping these individuals, that you need to heal them. A lot of you have been through multiple friendships and relationships with these kinds of dynamics. Some of you could have even had these kinds of dynamics with your parents in your adult age. It's almost like you're parenting them, like they're the child. And these individuals all have something within them that has declared them to not have the capacity to undergo this healing in this particular life cycle. Now, again, that's quite a deep thing to say, but what I mean by this is your awareness of this dynamic triggers a kind of awakening in you and forces you to transform, usually after being put through very toxic, abusive situations with all of these individuals. A lot of what you went through with these individuals mirrored what you saw in your childhood. What do we have at the heart, please? Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the heart. This is a perfect card to follow everything I just said. It's like here you are now understanding this. Eight of Pentacles, it's like you're carving out this new version of yourself based on all of your experiences up until this point. You have a deeper understanding now of how evolution and the universe works. You have a deeper understanding of who you are. I find it interesting that the karmic cycles that Scorpios have to run tells them that they're meant to position themselves beneath others' needs. This Eight of Pentacles is also falling in at the heart chakra position. There's an energy of balance, engaging with your life purpose, building for you, not for anybody else. Some may say that what I'm channeling through right here speaks of a selfish kind of individual. So be it, if that's the case, because Scorpios have been the opposite of selfish for far too long. You've been taken advantage of. You've been kicked when you were down. You've had your name dragged through the mud, some of you multiple times. You've seen some of the darkest pits of hell. You sacrificed your own well-being time and time again for another's well-being, only to be tossed out like trash. This has left you feeling bitter, jaded, unseen by the universe, forgotten. But we live in a reality where we're not taught from a young age what our energy signature encompasses, right? Your energy signature being a Scorpio. I can only imagine what the world would look like if they taught children more about their zodiac sign, the house that their zodiac sign represents. This information is crucial to a Scorpio's development. You need to understand the darkness that will come into your life and try and consume you. You need to understand that your karma is all based in you healing yourself rather than others as a means to align with your mission and purpose, as a means to fulfill your destiny. It's like solving a puzzle in order to get on your path. This is what all of you have been tasked with. But there is a very large group of you that have gotten the memo. 8 and 8, 88. Scorpio, there's a portal opening up for you to step into a more spiritually centered life. And it's all based on this healing and this new perception that you have around your life up until this point. What do we have at the throat, please? Three of Cups, Cancer energy at the throat. Scorpio, karma comes to those that have brought pain and resistance into your life once you've gotten on to the healing journey, because this speaks directly on the fact that you have removed yourself from a certain kind of position in your life where you can be subjected to the hurt and pain any longer. Sometimes people will be inquiring when individuals are going to get karma, but they're still engaged with these individuals in some capacity, and that's just not how it works. Sometimes it can take years for individuals to get karma. And though we usually inquire because we want to know that the universe is working in our favor, it also has a way of validating the fact that you didn't do anything wrong, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. But it's important that you understand my original statement there. You have to be focused on your moves forward. That is the fastest way you can trigger karma to show up in other individuals' lives if that's what you desire. And, you know, though I feel bad for people who receive karma it's a necessary action. It's all a part of their own spiritual growth. But I've also witnessed in my own life individuals that just don't learn, that just keep at it year after year after year, and it just gets to a point where your patience has run thin. Karma is justice. And as we know in our own waking lives, when we succumb to an injustice, we need justice. Now, in saying all of that, this Three of Cups right here is confirming everything I just said, because it speaks about a support system that you have, Scorpios, a support system in the ethers. When I see a Three of Cups in a spread like this, it speaks to me about spirit guides. And it's coming in at the throat chakra, picking up something here surrounding how you communicate with yourself, how you perceive yourself, Scorpio. It's as if your communication with self is representative of the communication that you have with your higher self. That's it. Makes sense. So the more you nurture yourself, you love on yourself, you're positioning yourself as number one in your own universe, the more things start to move. What do we have at the third eye, please? Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy at the third eye. This is you doing everything that we've channeled through up until this point and realizing your potential and how powerful your manifestation capabilities truly are. Scorpios have the capacity to turn your visions into reality. You just need to, I just heard, dress the stage correctly, right? So it's like you need to prepare everything that surrounds your life for the big show. See, Scorpios live their life when in balance like it's a show, like you're doing a magic trick with how you live your life post everything you've had to overcome to get here. Scorpio energy is pure magic. A lot of you are destined for a kind of greatness. Doesn't matter how young or old you are, none of that matters. Scorpios are meant to wake up when they wake up. Everything that happened up until that point was all wisdom that you needed to gain. It was all a part of your custom-made plan. And if you move right, all of that wisdom, that pain and that hurt that you've accumulated up until that very moment, you can now weaponize yourself with to manifest a reality for yourself far beyond what your imagination can even begin to conceive. If I could show you what I came from to get to where I am now, Scorpio, and take out everything I had to go through in between, you would say that a kind of magic or a miracle unfolded in my life. And this is the Scorpio energy. But it's all of that in between, which is what you weaponize yourself with to allow for that miracle to unfold in your life. Magic surrounds you, but you have to be open to the reality of it, Scorpio. And then you will see the miracle begin to unfold in your life. What do we have at the crown, please? Lovers, Gemini energy at the crown. Alignment, Scorpio. This is an energy of union. It's an energy of calibration. Your feminine and masculine coming together. Your higher self coming into union with the you that's in the here and now. There's an energy of divine guidance here. This is representing the magic unfolding in your life. This is the way through. This is how you access the key to your kingdom. And it has nothing to do with anything that's external to you. Your access point is by going inward, retrieving something from your Akashic records is what I'm hearing, by whatever way you're feeling guided to do so, and then empowering yourself based on your findings. See, the interesting part about you, Scorpio, is you merely have to ask. A lot of us forget this. You just have to ask what you can do for the divine. You just need to ask your higher self, how should I move? And then just wait for the downloads. Just like a prayer, Scorpio. It's exactly the same. It's not rocket science, but some of us forget that the simplest actions can produce the biggest results. What do we have at the foundation? King of Cups. Wow. Alistair. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy at the foundation. This speaks on everything that I've been channeling through, especially surrounding any sort of childhood wounding. See, King of Cups, in its negative polarity, is an energy of emotional abuse. It's an energy of emotional manipulation, being taken advantage of, right? It really speaks about everything that we've been channeling through. This is representing the white knight syndrome. This is you overcoming this, right? And it's as if these energies here that are being disgraced now are the ones that were okay with you being in the position to do this. These individuals that you have all dealt with have a kind of God complex. There's this similarity between all these kinds of people. A lot of you are looking back over these cycles you've run, and you're starting to realize you were a kind of sacrificial lamb. See, it's usually not one single person that you all deal with that has this energy. It's multiple people, right? So when Scorpios go through this transformation, this is when, you become the black sheep, you break away from the pack, you carve out your own path because you're not like any of them, right? You're not one of the sheeple. And this is when you're usually outcasted, you're blackballed, your name is dragged through the dirt for no good reason. Your reputation is ruined. People speak about you negatively behind your back. For some of you, you may even had people that tried to hurt you or come after you. Some of you may even feel like because you were the common denominator in all of those situations that there's something wrong with you. But then as you start to awaken more, you begin to realize that all of those individuals you were dealing with had the same spirit within all of them, right? It's like a spirit jumps around from vessel to vessel, treating you the same. You're having the same sort of events unfold with all of these people. So you weren't the common denominator. It's that spirit. Those individuals were the common denominator. And you have to understand that when it comes to spirits that body jump like this, those individuals live their life a certain way that allow for those spirits to take hold of them and use them as a vessel to create resistance, hurt, and pain on your path. It's as if the events you saw in your childhood create a kind of demon, a spirit. Some call it an egregor, right? Something that's manifest from hate, pain. It can happen by way of an event like I described. It can happen by somebody placing a curse, right? It can happen by different forms of black magic. But they all result in a kind of energy that wants to hop along for the ride in your life, if you know what I mean, Scorpio. But you don't know that that dark passenger has been with you. Whenever somebody new comes into your life, that dark passenger will jump inside that person. And then before you know it, your relationship with that individual is now on the rocks. This can show up in your career, different jobs you've had. There just seems to be a pattern, right? But you yourself are not going out of your way to do anything wrong. This is a clear indication that it's because of the dark passenger. Now, the way you overcome this is by going through the awakening process. You realize this and you take some time out and you separate from anybody who allowed themselves to be a vessel for that kind of spirit in your life. Allow yourself a time to heal and rebuild. And what you'll find is things will quite quickly start aligning for you. Things will just start coming back together. There's no sort of waiting period, Scorpio. It all comes down to your inspired action, how quickly you make decisions to self-empower and remove yourself from toxic environments that are holding you back. What do we have at the sacral, please? Two of Cups, Salos, Cancer energy at the sacral. Further reiterating everything that I just said, Scorpio, this is an energy of disorder. It's an energy of instability. A lot of Scorpios have also dealt with karma in their finances. It was all a part of destabilizing you in these karmic cycles. And for those of you Scorpios that have been dealing with karma in your finances, this is an area that completely turns around for you. It's all a part of the transformation. I feel that for a lot of you Scorpios, relationships and that particular sector do take more time because there's emotional healing and you taking on a different set of behavioral patterns that allow you to move in a more stoic fashion that bring through the right kind of love, the right kind of friendships. It's much better to have a small handful of really good quality friends. This is a big one for Scorpios. I feel that this can really speak about your romantic connections as well. I mean, I couldn't imagine being with somebody who wasn't spiritually evolved or at least on the path. To sell yourself short in this area is a kind of death sentence. You really position yourself to become that sacrificial lamb again. It's like selling yourself short. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Six of Cups, Scorpio energy again, Fornius. This Six of Cups really speaks about living in the past. It is the karmic cycle repeating over and over. So a lot of you have started to wake up to the patterns in your life, okay? I feel for a lot of Scorpios, you have been in romantic relationships that have played out exactly like maybe one that you had a few years before that. It's almost like you realize that the same lesson was being presented to you by the universe. It's usually amongst all of that you start to have these aha moments. You start to recognize these patterns, and it causes you to go into a place of contemplation. And when you start to lay out all the details surrounding your path, Scorpio, it's mind-blowing what the universe will start to illuminate to you. But what this Six of Cups is representing here underneath this Death card is you understanding all this now, going through the transformative process of being able to compartmentalize this. The patterns are being illuminated to you right now, and you're not going crazy at all. In fact, if you ask yourself that, you're not. Okay, it means you're going through a form of awakening. This is a very normal thing to say to yourself when you are going through this deep of an evolution in your life. And for Scorpios, there's a lot of this sort of unhealed trauma right back from the moment of inception for all of you. A lot of dark secrets were buried in your childhood as well. A lot of you had parents that didn't like to speak about things, parents that were very secretive. Some of you could have been subjected to really toxic siblings that were quite possibly a very negative influence on you. And all of this was mirrored back to you in your adult life, in the relationships you had closer to you. What do we have at the heart, please? Amy, Rage, Six of Pentacles. At the heart, Taurus energy. This is really speaking about you being at that point in your life, Scorpio, where you feel like you've been left out, where you feel like you're unseen, that you've been cheated from something, that there was a piece of the puzzle that no one took the time to give to you. But this is what's being turned around now, because you're all being encouraged to, again, to go in to find your way out. You know, Scorpios will try and seek guidance and validation from those closest to them because you just feel like that's what you're supposed to do. But then you will get led down a path, and after you've spent quite some time going in a particular direction, you'll start to realize that you've been had. Somebody sent you in the wrong direction. First thing you're faced with is needing to overcome the emotions as to why that person or those people would do that to you, especially if it's family, which leads you to a deeper understanding of self. Maybe they're trying to keep me from something. Maybe they don't want me to uncover what they're trying to hide, right? See, that's a real big one for all of you. A lot of your paths illuminate the darkness in other people, right? The darkness that these individuals don't want to face. So say you were subjected to certain kinds of horror in your childhood, like I spoke about earlier on in the reading, and then you grow up, you're going through awakening, and you feel that you need to start speaking about this because it's a part of your healing. You want to now help other individuals overcome that same kind of darkness in their own life, right? This is you taking all the wisdom, the pain, and the hurt you've been through and transmuting it perfectly, like the high vibrational Scorpio you've become. And that does not sit well with other people, Scorpios. That knowing comes with a whole different kind of transformation for Scorpios, because this is when you start to see people's true colors, right? Everything you always suspected about these individuals is now being brought to the light. You start to realize it's all true. This is what this is representing here. There's an energy here of coveting. There's a lot of envy that surrounds you, Scorpios. It's just a part of being a high vibrational Scorpio. When you're in your shadow, people treat you like a peasant or a slave. But when you are aligned, people are terrified of you. People just start to disappear. You don't hear from people anymore because they don't know what to say to you, because they don't know how much you know about what they actually put you through, because so much of it was hidden. Some of these individuals are just completely taken aback by the fact that you actually awakened to the truth. So many years have passed, they've almost forgotten. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of it all, you just transform. These individuals are having to face the hard reality that the only way that this could possibly happen is if the divine helped you. And then we have EIL, mental force, 3 of Pentacles, which confirms everything I just said, because this is speaking on the fact that the divine has come into your life. There's this energy here of teamwork. You now collaborating with your higher self. You've overcome the stagnation in your life, and you're starting to really recognize how truly gifted you are. A lot of you have come from karmic cycles where people disregarded your skills, disregarded your talents, your gifts, made you feel like it was nothing special, that you were just like everybody else. And this is simply not true. The only thing that you lacked in your life, Scorpios, was a good support system and putting in the effort to truly want to change because you weren't encouraged to do so. You were blocked by your environment. This is coming in at that heart chakra position. So that heart chakra balancing is a part of that key that you find, that puzzle piece, that doorway when you go inwards, right? What do we have at the throat, please? Wow. Ace of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the throat. Yamabel, God above all names elevated. Affinity and friendship obtains the friendship of anyone. Victory, Scorpios, raw power. This is also an energy of mental strength. And as you can see here, you're overcoming the resistance. That's that spirit. And you're looking up to the divine. Your spirit guides, 3 of Cups at the throat. Your support system. Both of these cards here represent your support system. 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. Emphasis on emotions, water, and Pentacles, earth, finances, stability. Ace of Swords, air energy, communication, thoughts, ideas, at the throat, the way you communicate with yourself. I just heard so clearly. You deprogramming yourself from this lack mindset, which was programmed into you from your childhood, Scorpios. Most of you, if not all of you, had to face off with a kind of poverty mindset, whether it's financial, emotionally, both, or whatever other area of your life. It's just an energy where you felt like you were lacking something, when again, you haven't been lacking anything. You've just been lacking the proper support in your life. But now the divine's here to support you. You don't need anybody. And anybody who comes into your life from this point forward is going to add value. They're going to come with something useful. And that's how it should be. You don't need people vampirizing off your energy anymore, Scorpios. If they don't bring something positive and useful to the table after everything you've been through, then there's no point. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving people a little boost here and there, but I feel that you'll at least be armed with a new kind of discernment. So you'll be able to recognize when people are being genuine moving forward, Scorpios. And this is also indicated with this Ace of Swords. It's an energy of mental strength. What do we have at the third eye, please? 6 of Cups again. So we have it twice. But this is the positive polarity. 6 of Cups, Scorpio energy. Salia, God who steers all men. Motivation, lifts up those who are fallen and humiliated. The 6 of Cups from this deck, Scorpios, is all about your inner child. There's a kind of reunion you're having here. And there's an emphasis on you healing these parts of yourself from the past that were targeted by these people, by this spirit. I just heard there's a return to innocence. A lot of Scorpios had their innocence ripped from them when they were too young to even know what the word innocence meant. This is what's all being returned to you now, Scorpios. It's going to be reflected in your waking life as you move forward into this new season of your life. Healed, weaponized with wisdom and experience to now walk your path as a healer of the ages. What do we have at the crown to close this out for Scorpio, please? What do we have? Wow. Huh. 5 of Pentacles, Scorpios. Taurus energy. Achaiya, the forbearing God. Patience reveals secrets of nature, spreads knowledge and industry. And this is the card of lack, right? This is you healing that now, though. It's an energy of hope returning to you, you recovering from this spiritual poverty that you were deliberately placed inside of before you were too young to even understand what was happening to you. This is what this card represents. You overcoming an idea that you lack something to become the greatest version of yourself, to become the vision that you've always seen for yourself. Magician at the third eye. This is you going through all the fear, going through all the obstacles, breaking through to the other side, and rising out of your own ashes. Scorpios, this is the message I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Scorpios. Take care.